Welcome to Planet Pluto.
Okay, there we go. What's happening? A little mic check situation. Hold on, let me try it again. Hold on. All right, we are live and direct from, guess what, guys? Cleveland, Ohio. Y'all know who it is, right? It's me, your homegirl, Ladosha, right, a.k.a. Key Lolo. Now, I don't know where Cheryl is at, but I guess she's going to be coming through the chat any minute now. But anywho, it's me again, Ladosha, right? And it is our 175th, I believe we are, no, wrong channel, I'm sorry. We are actually 102 episodes here on Planet Pluto Pseudo. And tonight it is all about the reality. That's right. The reality of working and owning a hair salon. We're talking about what is life going to be like beyond the chair for those of us working in the industry. So we're going to have a good time tonight breaking it down. So I hope you are ready for some good conversation, even if it is just me. And I'm sure Cheryl's going to be coming in any minute now. But if not, that's okay, guys, because I got y'all faded. Anywho, let me know how you guys are doing out there. I want to know if y'all doing good. Are y'all up for the topic tonight? Because I am. I mean, this is the one. Y'all know, that's about everyone. No, seriously. Working beyond the chair, or life beyond the chair, or what we going to do when we can't use our fingers and all that stuff anymore. That is a topic that comes up a lot in our industry. And I feel like, we had a series that was going on for the entire month where Cheryl and I were pretty much critiquing, the industry, and when it comes to people that was critiquing the industry. So basically, we were critiquing the critics. And so I have some wonderful clips that I want to share with you guys to help generate, the conversation about what can we do in our careers beyond the chair. I know last week we had such a robust conversation about, just some of the perils, of working, in a hair salon. And sometimes when you look at how things look on social media, hair salons and barbershop and natural hairstyling salons and, makeup, spas and nail spas, they don't always, to me, get a good representation, because the reality is it's really difficult, you know what I'm saying, to capture the reality of what it is to work in any space, let alone a hair salon. So I appreciate everyone for coming into the chat tonight. First of all, super duper shout out to our virtual co-host. There she is in the chat, Weekday. Thank you so very much. She's already telling you guys, don't forget, like, share, and subscribe, and you got to hit the thumbs up button, especially if you are down for the conversation tonight. So everybody can hear me pretty good. I see somebody saying, is the mic working? So let me know if you guys can hear me. Just put a thumbs up button, and then I'm going to carry on with the conversation as I give a couple of shout outs. But before I go a little bit further, I just want to make sure everybody can hear me, because somebody is saying, can you hear me? So put that thumbs up and like, yeah, Kilolo, we can hear you. We hear you out there in Cleveland, Ohio. All right. Okay. Y'all can hear me. Mike is good. All right. So a couple of shout outs. What's up, GG2? Genesis, I see you. Hello, about to do it. I know you're about to do it. There she is. Genesis McGee, the finest girl right here on social media. All right, rocking it out. Thank you so very much. We can't again. LB, I know you in there getting your grub on. What you got for me? Sounds really good. She got some ice cream. We was already in the chat. Me and LB, we always be in the chat before y'all get started. So what's up, LB? I appreciate you very, very much. So again, we're going to get into the topic, and tonight it is all about the reality of working in or owning a hair salon. And then, of course, we gotta, talk about, beyond the chair. That is something that doesn't, come up a lot. And so, okay, she says she's in. All right, okay. That's my BFF. Sorry, not Cheryl. Okay. So we're going to get into that a little bit. But before I do that, we got to do a little current events. All right. So I don't know. Now, this one that I'm about to show you guys, I don't know. Y'all really might not like this. Okay. I'm just going to be honest. Y'all might be like, yeah, I don't know. But what I do is I kind of go on Google and I try to see, like, what's happening, what's going on. And so this one right here, oh, shoot, I didn't get it. Hold on, let me see if I can find it. Wait 1 second. Give me 1 second. I thought I had downloaded it. Let me see if I can find. Oh, there it is. Hold on. This one, I'm going to call this one Messy Boots. All right, Genesis? It's not going to be good. So y'all just get ready. It's going down, okay? All right. So this one, I just kind of scrolled and I said, I know what I'm seeing just can't be real. Okay, here we go. Salon nonprofit fires its executive director. Y'all hear this? Fires its executive director for asking to have Black students portray enslaved people. Go ahead. Y'all can do it. Drop them eye-popping emojis in the chat. Yeah. You're reading it. I know what y'all saying. No, it can't be so. It is so. Salem nonprofit. Now, this is not 400 years ago. No, this is last week or within the past 2 weeks. This is coming out of Philadelphia, I believe. And so what had happened was, according to Miss Betsy, okay, her name is Betsy McBride. And so her rationale for doing this is that they have like a day in this, I think like it's like a museum, right? You see, it says historic, okay? And so they were going to do some reenactment, And so in this reenactment, I don't know, she thought, I'm just trying to, keep it 100. So, of course, the parents were like, so it's just this kind of stuff. And we know for a fact what this is coming out of, right? So we know we have, I don't even like to use the word administration, because that, to me, I don't think that's like a really good word. But let's just call it the kitchen cabinet. How about that? Okay. So the kitchen cabinet is now, into this whole thing about, we're not going to, we don't want to tell the narrative of what is this, America's, biggest sin, which is slavery. And so they just don't want to talk about that. And so I think, the whole pushback to not talk about, the biggest institution that formed America. And, there are a lot of people who don't want to say that, don't want to believe that. Listen, we ain't got nothing to do with that. We were forcibly brought over here. There's some other narratives that some of us were sold, however you want to put it. Y'all still enslaved Africans, okay? And so I think this type of stuff right here, it just reflects, some of the I don't even want to call it hypocrisy. It's just downright disrespect, disregard for who we are and what we brought to this country. And so it's real. The hatred is real. The racism is real. So that's just kind of where we're at. And I just wanted to share that with you guys so you can just see, just how the kitchen cabinet, I know they call it administration, but I'm going to call it the kitchen cabinet. They're just going along with the go along. And I don't know at what point will somebody just step up and say to this person, you know what, you're just out of control. We're out of control. We're out of our ethos of what it is to be in a democracy and all that other good stuff. I don't know if it's going to happen. You know what I'm saying, guys? So I just want to share that with you guys because that's the reality of what we're dealing with. But we got to get beyond that, right? So that's a perfect segue into our topic of, just how are we going to be working, beyond this chair? What does it look like for us? I know in the chat last week that came up. You had a lot of people that was asking Cheryl, well, how do you see this? What are we to do when we can't use our hands, when we can't, plug up? And Cheryl gave some, oh my God. Cheryl just has this brain that I wish I had, but I'm very blessed to be able to work alongside her because it's very inspiring. And that's our goal here on Planet Pluto Pseudo. In case you are new to our platform, welcome. This particular podcast, it is specifically for licensed professionals. And in the chat, you'll see some hair aficionados. And we are here to raise the acumen. Of course, challenge some of the content, the information. No attack on the people because half of the people we don't even know. Well, I shouldn't say half. Okay, 90% of we don't know the people. But even if we did, it's a bad thing to attack people. But in all honesty, the mis and disinformation that takes place in the barber and beauty industry is a little bit out of control. And so our goal here on Planet Pluto Pseudo is really to just pick out some of the pseudo, fake content that's creeping into our industry and causing some people to be a little bit overwhelmed, some people to be kind of off kilter. And in some of these clips that I'm going to share with you guys, I think you'll be able to capture it, and understand, why we chose this as a topic. So we have 4 series that we did on this topic here where we're going to critique the critics. And so these videos are going to capture that. But before I get into the videos, okay, I see some good content. Okay, yeah, here you go, Gigi. There you go. They're trying to change and erase the history. Apparently, the belief is that talking about slavery and the effects of slavery, it makes certain or some, white people feel bad, or like we're trying to say that, as a descendant of a colonizer, that you're somehow responsible. I haven't heard a Black person say that, but we do openly admit that they do have benefits that we don't have simply because of the color of our skin. And as descendants of slavery, of slaves, those of us who are, we just don't get it. Because we like, well, why y'all mad at us? I mean, we did a whole bunch of stuff, and why can't we get our 40 acres and a mule and so much more? So I think that's where it's going. I'm not quite sure, what their position, because I don't even really talk to them. I do see a lot of my friends, who are supporting the gentleman who was, murdered, on the college campus, which I agree with everybody else. I ain't celebrating nobody's, not, that's just ridiculous. Okay. But if I saw some of the stuff that he said, and I grew up in the home, watch what you say. Words have power. So you just can't be saying those types of things. However, you should be able to speak your piece and not, find yourself on the other end of life. You know what I'm saying? But, folks out here, they crazy like that. So the erasing, like you said, trying to change and erase the history, it's not going to change. It's not, because it happened. It is what it is. And I think that that's a really, really good point. And you have to be bold to say something like that. And even like what we're saying, because I got a text message from my colleague, and she shared with me that her friend's Facebook account was canceled because they said that they were a part of, the anti-fascist movement. And I mean, it's the what's that? The freedom of speech. They ain't playing out here, y'all. Bottom line, they are not playing. So before I get into the topic, I got a couple of more things that I want to share with you guys. And when I hear from Cheryl, I will make sure I let you guys know what's going on. Maybe she has some technical difficulties, but in any event, I do want to let you guys know that the time for me to go to Mama Africa is almost time, y'all. Come on, put the hand clap emojis in the chat for your homegirl, Lo Lo. All right, there's going to be 4 of us who's going to be traveling to the Gambia. We are going back to the Gay and Joral Skills Academy. So there are going to be 4 delegates. And our goal let me put a little school up. Hold on, let me just brag a little bit. There it is. So that's one of the classrooms. Now, the Gay and Joral has about 4 campuses. And so this is their newest campus, and it's located in Koti, Gambia. And so that's a classroom there where they have a wall of honor for Lo Lo and all those wonderful people up there. So I'm going to be going there Friday, October 17th through Wednesday, October 29th. So I will be in Mama Africa for my birthday. So I will be there. Now, let me just give you a rundown of what we're going to be doing in the Gambia. So number one, it's called Textures Intercultural Exchange. And so what's going to take place is exactly the name of the endeavor. It's intercultural exchange, information about textured hair. So we're going to be introducing them to some aspects of Afro hair science. And then we have Miss Jolanda Zachary, but we call her Juju. And so she's going to be traveling with us to work with them, exchanging some skills in hospitality, because her school is like we call it vocational schools here in the States, where it's not just cosmetology. They have fashion design. So let me show you some of the fashion design. And that's something. Come on, y'all. Put the hand clap emojis in the chat for these students, okay? So that is a dress made out of synthetic hair. Here is some more fashion design. So these are cultural outfits for like weddings and ceremonies. So they're doing wonderful stuff. They also have cooking. They have STEM. They have agriculture. Cosmetology, information technology. They also now have childcare. So they are doing the darn thing. Okay, so that's what's happening. Also, I have a small classroom size library there that is fully functioning. Okay, so that's what we got going on in the Gambia. So we're going to be doing some exchanging of information. And then also, she has another school in Farafeni that we want to do what? Get some more accreditation, y'all. So we ain't just going to be up there like doing some finger waves. No, cornrow braids. We're going to do some wonderful things and elevate the education, in Gambia for cosmetology. And that's my role. So I'm not there to make them, all westernized. Y'all know Lo Lo do not get down like that. Okay. Ain't nothing changed now, okay? So no, my goal is to bring my writing skills. So I love to write. That's no big secret. You know what I'm saying? My last name is Wright. I love to write. So I'm going to bring my writing skills, and then also my connections, with all of the cohorts and people who I work with here in the States, to help us bring together a nice comprehensive curriculum so that we can advance the level of education in cosmetology. And then, of course, we're going to share some skills and things of that nature. And then they're going to teach me some stuff, too. All right. So get ready. It's going down. And that's going to be, again, Friday, October 17th through Wednesday, October. Was that Thursday? October 30th, Tuesday, Wednesday, something like that. Okay. So I'll be back on the 30th. How about that? So it's going down. I will be there in the Gambia, and we're going to travel around. And here is some of the art. We're going to be going over to Senegal, because the Gambia and Senegal, they share the cosmetology program and the other vocation programs. So this is a beautiful piece of art. I would love to have done something like that. And so we're going to go over to Senegal and go to some schools there and go to some art museums. So the Gambia is, I'm telling y'all, it's going down. Here's another piece of fashion. Come on now, y'all. Hit the thumbs up button. This dress is made out of magazines and newspapers, okay? These students are very dedicated, very talented. I cannot wait to get over there to see all this stuff in real life. So that's how it's going down, all right? Also, now, the Gambia, in case you guys don't know, this is an up-and-coming nation, all right? An up-and-coming nation. And so what I do when I go over there, in addition to doing some teaching and exchanging, knowledge. Again, we have the Wright Library. There's a picture there that you guys can see. So I am going to be asking for some donations, all right? And I will put a QR code up, and we're going to do like a Cash App and a Zelle. If you guys, any amount, and all of the money goes to the school and the library. I don't get any of it. So that's not, y'all know how it gets down. I'm just saying, I love my people. Come on, y'all, hit that thumbs up button, all right? So I'm so excited to be going back to the Gambia. We did a fundraiser earlier this year, and you guys, we raised $700, a little bit over $700. So if we could do a little bit more, of course, that would be greatly appreciated. And I'm doing all types of things at the hair salon to raise some money by way of selling candy and lemonade. And I have the wristbands that says Textured Hair Education Matters. But I know y'all like, I don't live in Cleveland, so how can I help? So we're going to get that QR code and get the Cash App stuff up as it gets closer. But I just wanted to update you guys on what's happening. So we also are in need of 4 laptops. So if you have an old laptop or one of those Apple, notebooks, whatever y'all call them, I ain't no tech person, you know what I'm saying? We do need 4. So if you know of somebody or maybe an organization who have some laptops, they can refurbish them and they can clean them out. And we need to get some more laptops into the library. Okay, so that's what's going to be happening when I go to the Gambia. And again, I leave Friday, October 17th, and I will be returning back to the States for the 30th, and there's going to be 4 delegates, myself, my sister, Rashida. Y'all see her, she pops up in the chat, every now and again. So I'm really, 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 really excited. And so here's a good question. All right. Gigi, is Africa's hair curriculum different from the U.S.? I wouldn't say it's different in the sense of certain things match their cultural practices, but as far as like the science when it comes to the anatomy, when it comes to protecting the public, sanitation and hygiene, those are pretty much universal wherever you go, even in countries that don't require a cosmetology license. Every country and every governing body where hairstyling is allowed, they are just pro, public safety and sanitation. So you do have those fundamentals. Hair cutting, of course, is one. Hair coloring is not as prevalent in the Gambia as it is in some of the Western, countries, but we are introducing that because you have to keep in mind, guys, people travel to and fro these countries, and it would be nice if they could take advantage of hair coloring services in the Gambia. So while I was there on my first visit, baby, we rocked hair coloring like no other. And those kids were, well, I call them kids, well, young adults, but at my age, everybody's a kid. They did a wonderful job. So the curriculum in that regard is pretty much the same. There are some cultural things that are different because their licensure is about preserving and improving and maintaining and keeping their students aware of cultural continuity. So in America, that's why I said I don't understand why natural hairstylists in America are fighting to not have licensure and education, because it's just, it's like the antithesis of being a natural stylist in the name of Africa. You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, that's just me. Y'all know I'm a little bit passionate, but anywho. And so when I say, the cultural continuity, and that's because in certain parts or regions, you know, they're still like in the huts, you know, we call it like off the grid. So they have things that are a little bit different, but the government does not say, well, because you're not in a metropolis, you can't have you don't need a license. No, they ain't playing that. Everybody get a cosmetology license. And so it's just wonderful. So in that regard, they want to make sure that they're not, you know, making people who don't have the same amenities as people who are in a metropolis have to do, you know, the same thing. So we have to make sure that there's a balance. And so my role when I come there is to listen and take notes and then kind of help them delineate it out, as we say here, make it make sense. So, in a sense, it's pretty much the same, but there are some differences. You know, they don't have as many, they don't require as many hours. Of course, it doesn't cost nearly as much. But now that the Gambia cosmetology program is accredited, right? Because that was my role when I went over there. Now, when people travel abroad and say they want to go to cosmetology school in the Gambia, now it can count. So if you get a cosmetology license in the Gambia, it's good in the state that says we will receive, we can use those hours, and you may have to go back and get some more, but it, you know, so it's like that now. So before they didn't have it. So I'm very honored. I'm very proud to have been a part of that, because that was the country's first cosmetology curriculum since they've had cosmetology. And then, like I said, they also share that with Senegal. And so I'm just really, really honored to be able to do that and to go back and add more education and take some of Dr. Willie Morrow's teachings over. This is like a dream come true. When I was a kid and I was watching Roots, like I couldn't watch Roots. Anybody in the chat? I mean, my mother made us watch it, but I was watching it like this. It was just, you know, it was just too much. Even when I went to the Gambia the last time, I couldn't even go over that first slave dungeon. I'm telling y'all, it's one thing to watch this stuff on TV, and I know social media kind of makes people kind of numb because you know, you see it with these reels and stuff. And I'm telling y'all, when you go see this stuff in real life, it does something to you. I couldn't do it, but anywho, but I'm going back. And so, and to continue my, you know, what's been passed down to me, as we say, on the shoulder of giants, and we have this rich legacy. So I'm proud to be a part of it in this little teeny way, and I'm going to stay with it to the day that I die. So, but I would not be able to do that without you guys' support and help. So be on the lookout, and I really appreciate that. And then last but not least, before we hop into the topic, I don't know if you guys are aware, but in the coming weeks, Cheryl's day, actually, I think that's going to be next week. Cheryl's father, Dr. Willie Morrow, they're going to name the street after him. And so we're going to be doing a lot of social media, you know, advertising, so that everybody in the industry can know who Dr. Willie Morrow is. And we don't want to say things like he was unsung. So let me go ahead on. Thank you, Gigi. And let's put a hand clap emoji for Dr. Willie Morrow and Cheryl, because Cheryl and her little brother Shane, they really did a lot. So come on, some hand clap emojis in the chat. And I know this will happen when we do it, all right? All right, so there you have it. So that's going to be coming up, and I'm going to see if I can go up there and be a part of it. I would love to do that and go live, and we could do a host of other things. So again, that's going to be a street naming ceremony in honor of Dr. Willie Morrow, and it's going to be called Willie Morrow way. And this is going to be his 85th birthday. So may he rest in paradise. And this is so much good news tonight. So thank you guys so much for rocking it out with me. And then Cheryl, like I said, she'll let me know what's going on. I'll keep you guys abreast. So let's go ahead on and let's hop into the topic. And it's all about what's up, free. I see you, free Nelly at sbcglobal.net, the high road. Welcome to the Afro Hair Science YouTube channel. This is America's favorite podcast about Afro hair. So we are so excited that you decided to join us. I see you over there looking good with them glasses on. It's my homegirl right here. What up, boo? That's my Raleigh right there. I love that girl. I'm sorry, I digress. TC like stop it, Kilolo. But anywho, so let's go ahead on and that movie Roots, man. I listen, I still ain't watched it, but you know how it is. So let's get into this topic, and it's all about the reality of working in or owning a hair salon. We're talking about life. We're going beyond that chair. So I'm going to play these clips right in a row. I'm going to give you my opinion. Then I want you guys to, make sure you interact, because that's how we get into the algorithms. One of the things that Cheryl and we hear all the time is that there are, more people should hear about you guys. Well, the best way that we can get more people to hear about us is if you guys hit that thumbs up button. And of course, if you can, share the content, whether you're over here rocking it out with us on Instagram. What's up, Miss Latifa, National B? We got Instagram rocking it out with us. Or right here on Facebook and YouTube. We appreciate you guys for sharing the content, all right? So in this video, I'm going to kick it off with, let's start off with the status quo advice. So we hear this type of information all the time when it comes to owning a hair salon. And again, I'm going to take you guys, I'm going to use each clip, and I'm going to give you my opinion about what you can look forward to beyond. And hopefully it's going to give the licensed professionals, give all of us some ideals. And then I want you guys to interact with me and share some of your ideas, because just because my last name Wright, hold on, let me get some of my vodka. Cheryl ain't here, so I can drink on the job. Hold on. Don't tell her. So y'all can drop y'all answers and share y'all advice, because remember, it's not just about me, okay? So let's get involved. Let's get into it. And this first clip, I'm going to call it status quo advice, and then we're going to go beyond. What can you do beyond status quo? Not bad advice, just, we hear this all the time. So here we go.
Advice I would give a salon owner after 10 years of owning my own salon suites and doing this business. Number one, not all money is good money. Make sure that you are selective of the people that you rent to, booth rents, anything of that nature. Make sure that you are checking these people out, feel their spirit, pray about it, have some references. I will say this, one bad person can spoil the whole salon, so you have to be very, very selective of who you rent to, because it's not always just about the money. Number two, make sure there is a sublease agreement. I don't care if they're booth renting, I don't care if they're renting a salon suite, I don't care if they're month to month. There needs to be a written out guideline, stipulation, boundaries, and rules to enforce. It needs to be signed, it needs to be dated, get it notarized if you have to, so that way you have something to hold these people accountable to, and that way when one of those things are not followed, you can go per your lease, per you signing this at this date, this is the rule, this is the guideline, this is the stipulation, and this is what is to be expected. Number three, hire a cleaning person. I don't care how big, how small. You are not going to want to sit there and clean it every day. You're not going to want to be there every single day. Now, if you have to in the beginning because the coins are not there, then I understand. But as somebody who personally works in his business, on his business, the last thing I want to do is be responsible for cleaning this at the end of the day. So hire a cleaning person. It is well worth the money. Number four, be accessible. Don't be one of these salon suites or one of these salons where you can't work past this time. You can't use this. You can't use that. Everything is extra. This is extra 20. This is extra 30. Bundle it all together. Figure out your pricing.
All right. That, come on, hairstylists. Come on, barbers. Come on, nail techs. Come on, estheticians. We hear this all the time. when it comes to owning a hair salon, when it comes to owning, a barber shop, when it comes to owning a nail spa or a skincare spa, we always hear all money ain't good money. Hire good people. Make sure you have good energy. Don't forget about that agreement. And don't forget you gotta be clean, right? And then his last one was, I forgot what the last one was. Okay, but anywho, y'all get the status quo. All right, when we're talking about your career beyond the chair, think about paying it forward. I think that as a business owner, when you let people know when they come in the opportunities that they have to advance, that's going to take your career beyond the chair like you would not believe. I would not be able to go to the Gambia if I wasn't doing my work beyond the chair. You see what I'm saying? And I think that when people open up a business, I think some of the ego that, it's mine's, and then you hear other people talking about be your own boss, or being unbossed. And we miss the bigger picture. And I know what y'all gonna say. All right, I hear you, Gigi. I know I don't do that kind of stuff either. I know what you guys gonna say. You gonna sound like a socialist. But you know what? If you look at the history of America, okay, our forefathers, right, that was in bondage, that's all they was asking for. Make it fair. We doing all the work. We can't get nothing. And y'all want to come up with this term called socialism? Listen, when you're talking about going beyond the chair, you have to let people know when they come in the door what's beyond the chair. So if you own a business, I don't care if it is a loft, it makes me no difference. I don't really care. What are you offering that person when they come in? Is it just not all money ain't good money? Speak it into existence. Um, Pray over them. You know what I'm saying? Don't let no negative, don't let Lucifer and all them up in here. Don't forget about that agreement because people will forget. Now, you do. I'm not poo-pooing this, but this is status quo advice that we get all of the time. But put yourself in the chair or the, no pun intended, the space, the mind space of a person who's new. Maybe they're returning, maybe they're seasoned and they just, they want to broaden their career. What will your business be offering them beyond those things? And so when you talk about going beyond the chair, it's the vision that you bring your potential or your future, renter or colleague or employee or independent contractor, whatever you want to call them. Are you bringing them into an environment that says there's room for you to grow? Because there's so much more that you can do beyond the chair. So if you feel me, then drop in the chat, especially if you are an owner of a business or if you're an independent contractor. How do you envision a bigger, brighter you beyond that chair? And you want to have that before you go into that door. You want to have that before they come into your space, because that's going to make you an outlier. As they come into your space with their energy and their ideals and their dreams and their talent, how about you offer them something beyond status quo of just, let's be thankful we have a chair. And it's like, no shit, Sherlock. You know what I'm saying? Come on now, y'all. Y'all got to feel me on this one. So be bold. Now is a good time. If you have your own space, or maybe you're a customer and you're a hair aficionado and you're rocking it out with us, what would you like to see in a cosmetologist, a barber, a nail tech, or a makeup artist that goes beyond the status quo? When people see me, like, I don't want them to see me as, I bet you I bet you she a hairstylist. I don't really get that response. I really get something like, oh my gosh, are you like a fashion designer? Are you like, do you work like Oprah? I get that a lot. Are you like a hair doctor? Like, I want people to be really, really excited when they get into my space. From the moment they say hello, I mean, my goal is to be super duper dynamic because I don't want to be the status quo. I mean, it's going to get you through the door. I'm not knocking that. But again, we're talking about what's the reality of working beyond that chair. And working beyond that chair is having that vision right up front where people can see I'm going to go far if I come into this salon. People come into the Reverence Design team with the intent to get out. Hit that thumbs up button if you feel your girl. They like, I mean, you are all right, Lo Lo, but I ain't working forever. I don't blame them. I want them to know. So when they come in, I want to know, what's your dream? We have it in our newsletter that our goal in the Reverence Design team is to raise the acumen of the entire industry. How you do that? Come on in and let's find out. So they come in already excited. They have their own dreams. So they know that the Reverence Design team is a springboard for you to come in. It's a safe place to fuck up. How's that? You can mess up all you want. I got insurance. I know how to fix everything that could go wrong. I also know how to reduce the likelihood that there will even be those types of mishaps. But if I just come with the status quo, not all money ain't good money. Oh, what else is new? Bad energy. And your point is, let's pray. A lot of people meditate. Some people pray. Let's have an agreement. Now, come on. We know we got to do that. We got to pay the taxes. Y'all know that stuff go down. Okay. It's got to be clean. You know what I'm saying? All of those things are important. But I want you guys to really, really be creative. And if you are not a hairstylist and you are a hair aficionado, now is really a good time to share with us what you think you would like to see when you walk into a hair salon that says, I see something beyond. Like when people come into the Reverence Design team, they automatically know this is not your regular salon because we know that there is life beyond the chair. Thank you, Gigi. All right. Okay. So here's my next video. All right. Don't forget, hit that thumbs up button. All right. Or else we can't gonna get y'all. Now, this one here, I see this a lot. Now, if you see this a lot, I want you guys, to put a thumbs up emoji in the chat. Now, these are not in any given order. These are just my opinion, okay, which are like cell phones, right? Everybody got one. Everybody got one, so it's all good. It's all good in the hood, all right? So here is the next clip. And this one, I see this all the time, is got a big ego. Such a big ego. All right, here we go. Big egos in the hair salon. We're talking about how to go beyond. Will a big ego get you beyond that chair? Here we go.
They do come to you and tell you that I said negative things about you, they are a freaking lie. And I will tell y'all, I
negative things. You did negative things. And this is what I try to teach you for years. You got to take full accountability, not partial. You don't take the accountability.
Now, my attitude was really, really
no,
bad.
she was disgusting.
I think I got a little cocky and conceited.
When she got good, she showed her cotton tail.
Right.
Folks want to act like they woke up like this. I have the personality. You want to lie? You want to front? I'm going to let you front. I'm going to let you get away with it. When I say you're building, when I say you became divisive and destructive. And
Gee, you told me I became. It was.
All right. So now that's a real talk. They have a series on that on TikTok, and I will drop an actual link to that one if you want to hear that more. I know, dang. Yeah. Now this is the real thing. We're talking about egos. So we're talking about, egos and trying to get beyond that chair. Right now, we ain't gonna lie. You gotta have a little bit ego. Come on, Yate. Because you guys, first of all, let me tell y'all something. If you're gonna open up any type of business, your ass is crazy, okay? Because you don't really know, like, where are the chances of somebody really showing up? So, off the rip, people like, you better go get your job, okay? So you gotta have somewhat of an ego to be bold enough to walk away from a career where the work is already given to you. So that right there is going to say you got to have somewhat of the ego, right? But there is a point where that is going to work to your detriment, right? Okay. So to get beyond the chair, how do we, as owners of these spaces, renters of these spaces, hourly, and giving of our talent of these spaces, whatever you want to call it, how do we circumvent the ego to get us beyond the chair, right? So we now know for sure if you have a vision for that future or potential or new hire, new renter, whatever, okay? Or if you are in that space by yourself, make sure that your bigger vision is seen and it is part of your vernacular, part of your lexicon when you introduce yourself so that the customers automatically know you're doing what? You're going up. They don't, like, they already know the chances of me being behind that chair at 70 is not going to happen, okay? They already know that because I came in with that big vision and it changes, and I talk about it in my consultation, all right? So now you have this ego, right, that you want to address. And I think when it comes to how to curb, your enthusiasm is when you own that space, or if you're going to go into that space, I would say before you get in or before you let them in, have your code of conduct checked. Y'all know what I'm talking about? Because to get beyond that chair, you're letting them know the moment that they come in, your time is limited because your risk, anything could happen. I got me some Aflac. Who else got some Aflac out there? Hit that thumbs up button. All right. You never know. Listen, I don't have the lawyers of London. Like Tina Turner and them, J-Lo and them be, put some insurance on their legs and all that. And I ain't got that kind, but I do have some Aflac, okay? Anything can happen. That's one. That's a reality. But the other thing, what about going beyond the chair? If you have your prereqs for your interpersonal skills before you rent the loft, before you even open the hair salon, just have it already ready. Do you look like the people you want to attract? That's going to get you beyond the chair. So when we say beyond the chair, what things can happen for you when you have that look and you already have your prereqs for your ego in check? As we say, check up from the neck up, right? I could think of several opportunities that was given to me simply because I had an all black attire. I mean, I ain't no J-Lo, I ain't no Halle Berry. I'm just Key Lolo, I'm never going to be asked to be a supermodel. Don't y'all say about that in the chat. I see y'all, Genesis. I don't look like this. Hold on, Genesis. I got to put you on blast, all right? Now she gonna get asked to be a model. It's just not gonna happen for me, but it's okay. It's okay. Y'all be all right. It's okay. But what I have is really, really great personality. And I've already I've made this vision known before I even get started, right? And I already have my ego in check at the door. Okay. Cheryl's coming in, guys. I already have that checked. So they already know, okay, this ain't just no everyday hair. They already know because I'm coming in like a servant. Cheryl talked about that. Our jobs is just not to do hair. We are service providers. So with that being said, let's get ready to bring in the hair oracle. All right, hold on, y'all. It's going down. Here she comes. Bam! What's happening, G? She like, what up, Booski?
Let me say this.
Hold on, y'all.
That's what happens when you don't.
Go ahead.
That's what happens when you don't get your. No. That's what happens when you don't get your mail and you say, "Excuse me, we are planning a service outage." And of course, I didn't have my phone charged.
That's all good. I was holding it down. Y'all better let Cheryl know. I was holding it down. So we going through these one by one. Sure, I done held it down.
Okay.
So again, we're talking about the reality of working in or owning a hair salon. We talking about what you gonna do. What you gonna do beyond that chair? Okay, what are you gonna do beyond that chair? So already,
what did you come up with?
So far, we went through the first clip, and it was a clip about status quo. And what I told them to get beyond that chair, you want to have a bigger vision. Don't do the status quo. Have that bigger vision ready for that technician when they come in. If you work alone, speak your bigger vision into your conversation during your consultation.
Yes.
That's already, you're letting that person know, I'm going beyond this chair. You're getting ready to receive the opportunities that's going to take you above and beyond the chair. That was number one. Then number two, we were already talking about ego. So we showed a clip of a very egotistical stylist who was getting some advice from a seasoned stylist. And I said the best way to circumvent egos, because you do need ego to get into the business. All right. You need ego, but you got to curtail that. So the best way to get that ego in check, to get you beyond the chair, is to already have your prereqs for your image, your language, everything. So some people are like, have that bohemian flair. Some people, they have that hip hop flair. Some people, I call them granola babies, kind of like Auntie Dr. Joy. She's definitely has that very vibrant, holistic. Then you have me, just motherfucking hood, but with a flair of sass, you know what I'm saying? So it doesn't matter, but I have my hood checked. I don't take this. I use this when I need to, you know what I'm saying? But when I get into those spaces, I want to come across that I can talk to anybody. Mm-hmm. Anybody that can understand what I'm saying. I can get an interpreter, because I want to be able to get those opportunities to be able to do things like what? Go down to the state and be an advocate. Doesn't cost any money, right? But it's getting me beyond the chair so that I can do great things for the business. Why? Because my bigger vision, when you walk to the Reverence Design team, our salon goal, our mission is to raise the level of acumen in the industry. That's a tall order, but we're up for it. You see? So I have that. So that's where we're at. And so Frida, they're my little boo-boo right here. She know. And she'll tell me in a minute, you got a booger. Your breath. Here. This is my girl right here. Frida, let me know. You can see you got the wrong panties on, boo. Take that off. No, that don't look. You need people around you who's gonna let you know you don't have your best foot forward, and it happens to the best.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question. So, what do you think is fundamentally flawed about beyond the chair?
I think what's fundamentally flawed is that it's just not even considered. I like, and I didn't think about it until I met you. I mean, you got to, but you're gonna pay your little Social Security. But let's just be honest. It's not many people that want to sit around and just, live off of that or wait on that. I'm not saying, I'm just saying, You know, most of us are going to want to do something. And I didn't really think of that until you brought that to my attention, that you cannot always plug up. And I was just like, hold on, wait a minute, y'all. When she said that to me, y'all know what I did.
What you talking about, Willis?
I mean, what else gonna do?
Right.
I mean, you know,
and I think beyond the chair implies that you're actually, you need to make more money.
Right.
You don't realize that you're making another dollar. That chair is transferred to somebody else. So the chair is still making money. You're not working at that chair anymore. You can transfer that. You may have to change a percentage of that money now, right? Okay, but you're not leaving it. And I think that we have a misconception about beyond means that it's almost like we have this really love-hate relationship with the chair, don't you think? It's a love-hate relationship. It's like,
and that's why I started off saying in the beginning, it's because the bigger, like if a salon has that status quo, like the video said, you know, not all money ain't good money. Make sure you hire good people. Pray over the space, you know, don't have the bad energy in there. Have your agreements, you know, make sure your space is clean. That's like your stat. You do want those things. But when people come into the space initially, they should already know that bigger vision. They already know. I will give that salon away. I'm not selling a salon, you know. Who is ready to take it?
Right, because it's a source of revenue.
Yeah.
You're shifting to another point of attraction. And your different point of attraction could be teaching, it could be mentoring, it could be sales, it could be. I met a barber that started opening a bottle company for private labels to, you know, put sell the products. So he moved into a completely different part. He didn't move beyond the chair as if he needed to elevate. Yeah, but the chair is always the nucleus. It still makes money. You may have to share the percentage, but it can still be a source of revenue, a generating cash flow. Absolutely.
Right. Yeah. And so that's where we're at. So now let's move. Oh, yes, we all need a friend like Frida. I'm here to tell you, Frida, she keeps me together in more ways than you guys can. I'll be cussing out myself like that little mother. She's like, hey, you talk to him like that. I'll be like, feelings, Frida. Shut up. Okay, this is a true story right quick. I'm sorry, Frida. I got to put our business out. This right quick, y'all. Let me digress. We going to Jamaica, right? So we get a little tipsy the night before Genesis. Esther, this is how it went down. So we get on the airplane, and the best friend, you know, we kind of tipsy, right? So the best friend kind of hung over, and she kind of like vomited, right? So she in this bed, like, right? So the flight attendant come over, like, excuse me. If your friend doesn't get better, we're going to have to land the plane and we're going to charge you guys. And we were like, ah! So I was like, oh my God. So I was like, oh, Sherry is so sick. Here go Frida. Do it again. Get your shit. Get it together. Frida was not playing. Like, you need, like, what y'all getting drunk? Y'all know we not messing around. So Frida, one of them friends, and she's so pretty. She's very unassuming. You know, she's an administrator. She's like, yes, I guess this is Frida. Yes, how can I help you? But you, Frida was like, nah. And it's the funniest best friend story ever. So you are right. We all need a Frida, and our Frida is down for the crown. But if you are not excellent, don't even with Frida, okay? You talk about Big Frida. Here she goes right here. That's the real Big Frida.
Wait. She said, please stop.
She knows true.
Wait a minute. And of course she would say that.
Esther, I'm talking about, she had the hand, like, do it again. It was, and the kids were like, it's everything. Sit down. Sit. The whole airplane was like this. Frida. And listen, by the time we left Jamaica, they was like, I'm not making this up. Jesus, Bob Marley, and Frida. I'm not. See, now I'm telling the truth. We painted that town. They said Jesus, because when you go into Jamaica, you gonna see Jesus. You gonna see Jesus. And you gonna see Bob Marley. And then
you gonna see
Frida. I'm just saying. So you are absolutely right. You need that friend who knows where that line, like in this screen.
And to y'all, please. I know they talk about a lot of things. They talk about the betas, the deltas, and y'all better get you an alpha. A woman who is not or a sigma. Them kind of women or men, they are going to tell you the truth and will not hurt their feelings.
Right. Yeah. But remember now, in order for you to get into those spaces with those kinds of people, you've got to come with your A game. I could not just get into Frida's space. It wasn't going to happen. I had to be of a certain, not a clique. I'm not saying a clique. No.
Network.
Yeah, a quality human being. Okay, a quality human being. Okay, so let's move on. Here is our next video. Now, this one we got big ego. Now, this one I'm gonna call this taking your blessings for granted. I see this in the industry a lot, and it definitely won't get you beyond the chair. But I just wanted to show this because I see, and Yate. Everybody in the chat, y'all let me know if y'all know if I hit this with a nail on the head. Here I go.
All right, look, here's the deal. I've got a hangover. Who knows what that means?
Doesn't that mean you're drunk?
No, it means I was drunk yesterday.
Now, you got those people in the industry, they're a little on the excess side. Now, sure, you wasn't here. I admitted to drinking vodka. Look at that. So, you have those people.
Wait a minute. Don't even let us get started.
We got to address this.
No. What are we addressing?
We got to address what role does habits, marijuana, alcohol. We know some of y'all be popping up Percocets. You know, we hear the songs y'all be singing. You know, all about the powder. Okay. These are some now, and they will normalize it. They will do. Let me play it again.
They were normalized.
Here we go. They're gonna normalize it. Here we go.
All right, look. Here's the deal. I've got a hangover. Who knows what that means?
Doesn't that mean you're drunk?
No, it means I was drunk yesterday.
Look at her attire, and people will justify this and say it is okay. Now, before you give your comment, your take on the importance and how those habits will influence your ability to even think and do beyond that chair. VK is in the chat, and Cheryl, show them what they need to do right now to help change the narrative about going beyond that salon. And we talk about the realities of working in it and owning it. Here we go, guys, right now.
Pampa me on, pampa me on.
All right, everybody on Instagram, I see y'all. What's up, IG family? Come on now, y'all drop y'all comments in the chat. Cheryl and I, we do not have all the answers. We are about 102, I believe, 102 episodes in, okay, here on Planet Pluto Pseudo. For all the professionals in the industry and our hair aficionados, we are discussing, what's beyond that chair, the reality of working in or owning your own hair salon or loft or whatever y'all want to call it this year. And this point we're going to make right now is taking it for granted when you have these habits, and how that's just like a segue to the next one that will prevent you. So let's talk about that, because I think especially like people that they like to go in the back and smoke weed with their customer.
Oh God.
They got the weed man, I'm just, I'm like.
And have you guys ever been able to concentrate? I have not been able to concentrate under the influence. I tried that shit once, and that was the day my father came through the salon, and I swear he was going to stop in there for long. I swore. But he just zoomed on through, and I was like, whoa. Because my dad is the kind of boss that will stand there and look at you like this. Like, wait a minute, like a German Shepherd.
Oh, Cheryl. I like Esther. That's why you are our de facto producer. We got to give you a hand clap.
No doubt. No doubt. I
feel you on that one right there, Esther. That's the.
Please don't shit when you.
Don't do it. If y'all feeling what Esther is saying, don't do it. Now, I know this one gets kind of touchy. You know what I'm saying, TC? This one gets a little touchy because now marijuana is legal, right? Mm-hmm. Alcohol is legal. You can pop a couple of pills, I guess. Some of this, a lot of this stuff, it's kind of normalized. But it can impede you beyond the chair. And so I just want you to, think about it. We have people, that's what they do. We have people all around us. That's what they do. But I know in our salon, everybody get a little bit like, hey, stop it at the door. So here's what I do, Cheryl, to help with that. When everybody come in, I say there are 3 reasons that you show up here: retention, retail, and referrals. When you put your key in the door, that's your focus. And I don't care if you got a personal problem, a drunk problem, a drug problem. Hey, my son was dying. I did not bring that to work. If you come to work and you put your key in the door and you can't focus on those 3 things, turn around and go home.
Yeah.
You don't owe me no, I am not your boss. I don't care. I don't be talking about If you just say, I'm not feeling well today, can you take care of my people? You out. No problem. Now, remember, that's the ethos of our salon. Remember, the Reverence Design Team is a safe space to come and just fuck up, because you're going to mess up. I messed up. Now, you got so many, you can't do this forever, but like you said, leave that. Come on, Yate. Let me drop the bomb on that one. They don't feel me, though. Come on, Yate. Here you go. One more time. Wait a minute, Yate. It had already, percolated. Let it percolate. Look, I let the match. There it is. Leave it outside.
And
add to that.
Well, I will say that you're also putting the address in jeopardy, which can totally take the whole revenue and the reputation of the location. Because at the end of the day, people do want to feel safe in your location. And I think sometimes it starts leaking into the actual location, and sometimes you could be, because of hopefully whatever you have on you, or whatever habit or vice you have on you, you've used it prior. But some people use their locations as, the habits start leaking into the actual address. And I think that even though we may do these particular things because we're tired or we think that we needed to get through the day, and one of the things that I do know, I don't know if you guys have talked about it already, but also this particular job is extremely mentally and physically taxing. And I think that we make it look good because we're just standing and cutting and doing things and coloring, but we're exposed to a lot of chemicals on top of the vices and things that you're talking about. And we hurt and we're in pain or we get tired or whatever the case may be. And so, I know.
Hey,
I understand.
I'm like, okay, leave it at the door because
I know.
we're talking about the other thing too. You got to remember how they say like your reputation precedes you.
Yeah.
And because people will sit around and they act like somebody's holding them back, like they always asking Ladosha, they always asking Shaniqua, they always, well, that's because stay ready. Come on, y'all. I ain't gonna say the rest. If you know what we're talking about, drop it in the chat. Stay ready. Go ahead. Drop it in the chat because that's gonna get you beyond the chair because like Cheryl said, you can't plug it up all the time. And we're having this very important conversation tonight for the people in our industry so that you can know that the world of opportunity awaits you.
Absolutely.
When I had the opportunity to speak to the students in Houston, that's what I said to them. Welcome. The world of beauty is waiting for you. When I tell you we have a waiting list out of this world to get in that salon. We pray for a slow day.
Wow.
Because it's only, and the thing about it is that your income can be capped. You can only make so much. Cheryl just said that. Can you speak to the reality that
absolutely.
on the physical part, you can only do, you could only, even if you charge $3,000 per person and you got 8 people, that's all you gonna get.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, you can make just as much money in front of the chair as well as sitting in the chair. Just as much as you can, or you can make more than you can behind the chair. Your hands, you only have so much time limit on your feet, back, elbows, and hands and eyes. After a while, you get on the road and you are going from Cleveland to Columbus. At some point during that trip, you're going to say, I need to pull over at some point, unless you just fresh from the bed and you just going straight in. But if you keep going back and forth, there's only so many trips you're going to do before your eyes are going to get tired because it's physical work. Now, if your part of your day is mental work, as in consultations, and then then you're doing paperwork and you're doing sales because you're selling products and you're checking your website and e-commerce, then that's in the chair, front of the chair, back of the chair. You can do, but that back of the chair does have a time, and it's because it's physical, and it does have a time limit. And unfortunately, sweat equity is your lowest dollar. It's your less profitable dollar because it takes time. It's labor intensive. So by the time you put it on, do this and comb it out and press it out and style it and spray it and let the customer go, most times that you are under the dollar at that point, no matter what you've charged them.
Right. Yeah. And I think the lure of raising prices is very
right.
It's very attractive. Like that's what people look for is how much more money I can charge.
Right.
You can charge as much as you want, but you do
it doesn't make a difference
on physical labor. It's capped. It's done. Because
it doesn't make a difference. Because if let's just say you're doing a $3,000 braid job, do you know what a $3,000 braid job looks like? Guarantee you, it is where by the time it's 3,000, it's probably 5,000.
Right.
And so my point is, it just doesn't. It's still physical.
Right. Yeah. And you've gotta
There's no
you
profit if you have to put your physicality in it. It's only
mm-hmm.
profit what you don't do, how much you don't have to do to get a particular dollar.
Right.
So let's just say, actually, if I charge $100 and I had to do 2 hours, but I sold something 50 for $65 and I sold it in 10 minutes versus 2 hours. And I got, once you do the percentage per capita, or you do the percentage of a rate of whatever, it is so much more profit to make $50 every 10 minutes.
Right. And that's the, but you can't, you won't be able to do that. Now, remember, guys, we took you on a chronological and a very succinct order of how you can begin to create. I don't want to tell you what you need to do beyond the chair, because as you already probably know, that's limitlessness of what you could do. But when you begin to open up, preferably when you're writing your dream out, be it on a piece of paper or you're using a template, it doesn't matter. You have that bigger vision, right? And you're speaking that, you're holding yourself accountable. You're making sure you're not status quo. You've got the ego check. And now we're saying all of your vices, put those aside. Don't poop. I forgot how she said it. Esther said it so good.
Yeah, don't poop where you sleep. Yeah.
Don't poop where you sleep. Thank you so much. And then we have the last point I said was stay ready. And then Real Roots came through, and you ain't gotta stay ready. You ain't gotta get, because it's hardcore out here. I'm like P. Diddy, no bitch assness. It's just straight up, no chaser. That's how it's going down. We got 2 more points. Now this one is a perfect segue into what you were talking about, Cheryl, of not being plugged up and being overwhelmed. So at the end of the day, you've got to be able to manage it. So here's a video of a young lady. She went live. I just so happened to catch this live, and I went straight into my screen record just for this. So it's about being overwhelmed. So check this out. Here we go, guys.
I'm so tired of dealing with this process. Like, this project has made me so discouraged about my business. I got so discouraged so many times. Like, I work and I just do hair just to try to do something better for myself. Like, I'm blessed to be in the position that I'm in, but to maintain this, and it's just every time I take a step forward, I just get pushed back like so much, to the point it feels like a never-ending cycle. I'm so tired of this. Like, I just really want this project to be over with. Like, I'm tired of.
I felt her. I mean, for you to go live with your child in the car, I mean, she was really in a very lonely space. And I know some of y'all saying that could have been clickbait. Even if it was, even if she did that to get some followers and some likes, that's very concerning for me. And the reality Cheryl just told you guys. Cheryl don't never know what the hell I'm gonna put up on here. But she told you guys this is very overwhelming. And I have cried those same tears. And I have said those same things. But I have had people to talk to. And this is why, the announcement that I shared with you guys earlier about the naming of the street, the official Willie Morrow Way street naming ceremony. This is why Cheryl and I, we do what we do, because that young lady there should be someone that she could have called to not have to do that in front of her child, go on the social media, even if she felt the need to get the likes or whatever, or maybe that was her coping mechanism. She needs to know that there are two young ladies who are living the legacy of Dr. Willie Morrow, and we are here. And that's something in our industry. We're talking about going beyond the chair. Um, that working in the loft, they don't. I'm. I that I shouldn't say that. I will say that the people in the lofts and some people in the industry, they feel very much isolated and so alone, and that they don't even have in their mind about this topic of beyond the chair. So, Cheryl, we got about 10 more minutes of good conversation, but this being overwhelmed, trying to do everything right. And she got her baby with her, and so let's get into the real pains of now and I can't even see what the hell you and Cheryl talking about. I got a project that I can't get finished. I'm doing this here, I'm doing everything I can, but shit just ain't working out.
Yeah. One of the things that I try to talk to new salon owners, or what we call beauty service oriented trades or vocations, is first of all, I know you are the person with the technical talent. After you have established that you want to give that passion to the world, there's one thing that sometimes we don't really expand on this conversation, and especially Black women who are in the trade, because they're most times going to be caretakers, right, of their families. And that is something that is taboo to women service providers, no matter what field they're in. And that is what we call capacity. Having the capacity. And the capacity is, and when you think of the RDT salon business model that I've happened to witness, and I know that in the salon that produced my skills, right? And the one key factor of a winning formula is capacity, meaning that I am allowed to be in an energy, or whatever energy, desk, front, consultant, styler, or whatever I am at any given time. I have the capacity to not wear those hats at any one time at the same time. And the overwhelmed feeling is when you are a butcher, baker, and the candlestick maker. And that may even look like you're part of the Fantastic Five or Super Friends, but it is not sustainable.
Are you guys following this? If you are, put a heart in the chat.
Yeah.
Want to make sure it's because this part to me is really, really, really important. So if you really feel what we're saying, just drop a heart in the chat because it's heartfelt and it is a reality.
And so by the time, regardless if you guys are 80 still styling, 65, and you're maybe at the crossroads at about 48, or 55, and there are you young and you're now vibrant, how we ask for help, how we connect with people, and to ask dumb questions, because you're going to ask dumb questions, hopefully before you make dumb mistakes, but hopefully nonetheless they will be dumb because you don't know what you don't know. But physical capacity, meaning that now, meaning that young lady was no longer having fun. She was in love with something. She no longer found it fun. How important is fun, passion, and going to work and being comfortable and feeling safe and looking forward to coming back? Once and I know we're here. I know that this vocation, career, and artistic industry that we love so much, I know it's blue collar. You know it, and I know it. We have to make it white collar and make it artistic and vocation again. We have to put that artistry, we have to put that back in there. But on the salon and barber level, we're starting to become just factory workers. And she was tired. And see, in the emotional capacity starts to leave first before the physical capacity. Then the emotional capacity is now allowing her body to be afflicted in some way, maybe gastritis or aches and pains or headaches or just good old-fashioned irritability, just being irritable. And that is because the capacity has reached probably in very dangerous levels to the point where you just don't want to be there anymore.
Because I think the other thing, I'm gonna clump that in, what she just said, and call that your classic income generating work. But the non physical part to generate income, it does not get enough attention.
Well, because you don't have the capacity to even focus on that.
Yeah.
Because you're too busy trying to equalize and make and get the physical part into such a rhythm. And here we go again. When you build a team, and I just said RDT, the team, Reverend's design team, is such a family. This is what you run the risk of the suite. You are the butcher, baker, candlestick maker. And that is going to eventually be unsustainable, and it's going to wear at all cylinders. And the cylinders that you need to work on the soft, what we call passive income, that's the real profitable dollar. Well, you're at capacity at that point. And that is what we run the risk of doing. By the time we're ready for that beautiful consultative dollar, we're ready for the retail dollar or the wholesale dollar, and we are ready for the speaking engagements, and we're doing the e-commerce. We don't have the capacity because at the functional physical level, we're spent.
Yeah, I think one of the things, if I could recommend, if you are considering going into the industry, if you already have it and you find yourself like maybe you've plateaued off, because sometimes you feel like, I'm the Mac at this. That's kind of where I'm gonna be. I think a good ideal is to, I say, look at other, like find you a mentor, that you can kind of see what they're doing, that you can get with them, that's one. I think a mentorship is really, 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 really important. And then two, if you could like recalibrate with the 90-day like reset, or if you're new, when you like what we do, when you come into the salon and you say you're interested or you want to intern, it's three things you got to do. One, you got to come in and write out. We don't want you to talk because we want you to sit down and think about what do you want to do. But I want to know it from two perspectives. One, what's your take on people who teach you? And then two, what do you want to see? Because I want to know where you at. Okay, that's number one. Then number two, I want you to come in on a real busy day.
Right.
I mean, when it's like busy, and I'm going to jump your ass in. You ready? Let's go.
Yeah.
Move it. I want you to feel, because some people don't know the physical part. Like, you can't walk to the back and formulate. No, you got to move your ass. You can't be... Hold your head, bro. Oh, you can't do that, dog. So I want you to come in when it's stupid busy. I'm talking about the phones is ringing. You trying to wait to get to the bathroom. I mean, it's busy. You can't eat. We back there eating relaxers and shit over the car. How much relaxers you done ate? You know, you don't pee for 9 hours. You ain't going to the bathroom. You try to check a phone. Ain't nobody checking no phones. What? Ain't nobody here telling me.
That's right.
Yeah, hold your head. Yeah, girl. What did you do that? Yeah, hold on. So you're gonna come on a busy day, then you're gonna come on a slow day. And then you got 90 days. It's called Carpe Diem. Seize the day. And then we're gonna build you. And so we're gonna check you every week, then we're gonna scale back 2 weeks. Then that 90 day, we're gonna see where you at. And some people, they don't even make it.
Nah.
They don't make it. Once I say that, they be like, okay, I'll be back tomorrow. They don't even show up. Fine. Remember, we gave them the bigger picture before they even got started. Remember the beginning I told you guys? We got rid of what? The status quo.
And let me just say this. And just because you're on your own, you don't have to be alone.
No.
Or being alone doesn't mean you're by yourself. It just means that you're on your own. You know, that has nothing to do with being alone. There is a sense of community and network, and I think that's what Key Lolo's is asking you to be open, to open up your heart print to the point where you know you want to share your dreams and your plans and with someone, with a colleague. And
right. I think that's part of our, and I think I don't want to say that people in the loft don't do that, but I do. Cheryl and I, and you guys can let us know.
Right.
We do see the people who work in the lofts and the suites, they're being terribly ostracized. Yeah. They're being put off. They're being treated like the others, like they're not, and we can't do that, y'all. Them still our people, and we have to open up our spaces. If you have a salon, you own a barbershop, and they'll, open up your space and your heart and let them know that you are there for them. Absolutely. Please do that. And then our last point before we wrap it up, I don't know if you guys have been kind of following the United Nations. They had their little summit and everything. I've been listening.
Not. Please.
That's right. Annalena Baerbock, she's from Germany, and she is now the president of the UN. I think that's what she's the president of the UN. So it's now being ran by
47.
Yeah. And so you got to hear some of the speeches. What all these nation, leaders of the different nations, they have some very powerful. Powerful. So I'm going to show you guys
this morning, and thank you for that this morning. It was absolutely.
Yeah. Please watch them, guys. Just go and type the UN and listen to some of what the leaders are saying. But here's just 20 seconds as we close this up, and I'm going to use this video to put our industry, give us something to munch on, put us on a task-oriented path to recalibrate. And make sure that there's no stylist, no barber, no nail tech, no esthetician, no natural hairstylist, no salon owner, no school owner, no barbershop owner, no trichologists left behind. We're not doing that, okay? So check him out. This is the president of Kenya. Here we go.
This history is both a lesson and a warning. Institutions rarely fail because they lack vision or ideals. More often, they drift into irrelevance when they do not adapt, when they hesitate to act, and when they lose legitimacy.
I'm playing one more time. Y'all
One
write
more
this
again.
down
One
now.
more again, Key
I'm
Logo.
the president of Kenya. Listen to powerful speech. Listen to it.
This history is both a lesson and a warning. Institutions rarely fail because they lack vision or ideals. More often, they drift into irrelevance when they do not adapt, when they hesitate to act, and when they lose legitimacy.
And if we don't have those 3 points, at the forefront of our conscious, because to think that because you got your own, you're on your own, you've got to be out your rabbit ass mind. You are not on your own. You have an entire community of professionals who love you, who care about you, who authentically want to see you succeed. But as a whole, as a conglomerate, as a collective, as an industry, like he said, if we don't, we will fall into that state of irrelevant. Not because, y'all just hairstylists just went, no. He gave you 3 points. If you don't act on it, if you're hesitant, you're going to lose this space. And Cheryl and I, we're not going to see that happen. So with that being said, when we left the Beauty Under One Roof Summit, we together decided what us going to do is we're going to host 4 educational summits throughout the year, 2 Midwest in Ohio at my place of business, and 2 in western part of the United States in San Diego. And we're going to offer Afro Hair Summit. We'll start it off with the class of 10. And each, we'll put it up on the Afro Hair Science YouTube website so you guys can know when it's happening. And we're going to charge forward to make sure that we take the president of Kenya's advice and a warning. But definitely it's more like a passionate stance that we can go to infinity and beyond. Cheryl, what's your take on that?
First of all, I just want to let y'all know she called me real early this morning to share sometimes what is impresses upon her very deeply. And that portion of the speech and how he ended with legitimacy and how planet Pluto has been trying to get us and succeeding to make sure that we as a profession, all of it, not nitpick, not separate ourselves into these tribal factions, that we do come together and to make sure that the last 3 centuries is enough to legitimize us and to make sure that we are here and for us to be counted, and that we have an incredible opportunity with an incredible legacy, and that we don't have to do the heavy lifting. Not one of us knows what picking cotton. Not one of us knows what the whip on our back feels like. We don't know what that shit is because our ancestors paid our tab. We can walk through if we can band together. And I just think that it's the UN, and even though I think our country is embarrassment, but I do believe, I'm so glad that the African countries and the other European countries showed up, showed out.
I mean, I'm telling y'all, everybody, the Nobel Peace Laureate, Miss Mesa from the Philippines, everybody, I'm mad at Ghana because they're going to take in, anywho, but everybody, I'm telling y'all, I would drop his in the link after the video, after the live populates. But please, like Cheryl said, listen, you will be inspired. You will be inspired to take your career beyond the chair. We're going to be back next week with Auntie Dr. Joy, and we're going to be talking about what's some good bread, money or bread to eat.
I enjoy.
I'm sure Auntie Dr. Joy is going to give us an earful on how to make bread with bread, because she's always talking about mito and all this good stuff. So we're going to talk about how to make some bread with some bread, if you know what I mean. Okay, so we're going to talk about that and we'll have a great time, and then we'll be back here on Monday. We're going to close out that series as we concluded with the cost of going natural beyond money. Okay, so what's that cost of going natural? We appreciate you guys so very much. Don't forget,
please forgive me of my absence.
Okay, we love you, Charles. It's all good. I was going at it. They were like, "Go on, Lo Lo, you got it."
How you know it ain't gonna happen to me?
They were like, "Do your thing, girl. She better come through." LaWanda was like, "Where's Cheryl? Cheryl, get your ass back in here, okay?" But don't forget, I will be going on my trip to the Gambia, and I'm looking for 4 laptops. So if you're in the greater Cleveland area, please, by all means, we can clean them. They don't have to be brand new, but 4 used laptops. And we're going to be having some donations coming through at the beginning before I get ready to go to the Gambia. And again, all the proceeds go towards the Wright library that you see pictured here. And of course, I have a classroom, and that is the Ladosha Wright Wall of Fame right there. And that's in Kutu, the Gambia. All right, so get ready for that. And then last but not least, I'm going to see if I can get my way on down on Thursday, October the 9th, and check out a wonderful official Willie Morrow Street naming ceremony. So Cheryl and I, we're going to push that. By the way, if you can share, if you have social media, I know Yate, I know Esther, all of you guys in the chat, let me just give y'all some shout outs because all of y'all have a page. So Esther, Rashida, Lawana, Gigi, Real Roots, what's up? Who else was there? Frida. All of y'all have social media. TC was in the chat a little bit earlier. Genesis, WK, Live, Work, Clean. I know you and our Canadian sister. Help your American sisters out if you can, babe. Madam Flair, all of y'all, and repost the official Willie Morrow Street naming ceremony. You can screenshot this after the live and share it, and just put hashtag Dr. Willie Morrow, hashtag Cheryl Morrow, and we appreciate y'all support so we can make sure that we take the advice of the president
Absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, and I think that's it. Sure, anything before we wrap this up? We're all done.
You said it best, and I just wanted I didn't get that last comment from Esther. But
here we go. Esther.
Yeah, because she's always saying something profound.
Okay, hold on, Esther. I got you. Let me go on back to here she is right here. I think it's definitely important to have passion and love in your work, especially when interfacing with people, because if you're not having a good time, neither are your clients and the people you work with. You are absolutely correct. And that's why you're our de facto producer. It's okay to love what you do and do what you love. It is okay. And Cheryl and I, we are here for everybody in the industry as best we can. And that is our commitment beyond the chair. All right. So you know what we say when we're signing out, right? We say good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. I'm going to play that clip one more again, and then I'm going to play Planet Pluto Pseudo. I just want to
so dignified.
One more time. Let me just let y'all hear the president of Kenya talking about nobody. We can't leave nobody behind if we don't get this together. Here we go.
This history is both a lesson and a warning. Institutions rarely fail because they lack vision or ideals. More often, they drift into irrelevance when they do not adapt, when they hesitate to act, and when they lose legitimacy.
That will not be our fate. Let those words be your guiding light to the day you check up out of here, okay? We can do this, guys. And you have the support of the Afro Hairstylists YouTube channel. Now you know what we say when we sign out, right? Good, better, best. Never let it rest until your good is better and your better is best. We love you guys. Have a wonderful night. Don't forget, like, share, and subscribe so we can get into them algorithms. Now let me finish up my. Nah, this is just water. Y'all know I ain't had no vodka. I know I just. All right, I love you, Cheryl.
Bye-bye.
All right, I love you guys. Thank you so much. Y'all have a wonderful night.
Welcome to Planet Pluto.